In this episode, we talk about the importance of relationships in business. Welcome to the DO Boxing Show. I'm your host, Dameon Okposio. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. And in this episode, we're talking about relationships in relation to business. Relationships are so important, and it gives the people an opportunity to find out who you are as a person. It's part of advertising. We are constantly selling. Everybody's always selling themselves. Even if you don't think you're a salesperson, you are. You're always selling. And you always want to make sure that you're able to give somebody value for whatever they are giving to you. So relationships are key when it comes to business. So I'm going to give you an example of a situation that I saw recently where somebody was doing extremely well in their boxing career, and somebody mentioned, oh, you know what? You should invest in this person. But I don't know the person. I haven't had a conversation with that person ever. And when I looked at it, the person that was asking for the sponsorship or advertisement on that person's behalf, to my knowledge, they had not sponsored that person either. They had not spent their money there. So it made me think, number one, do they really believe in the value that that person is going to provide? And number two, even if they had, I wouldn't take that chance. So as a businessman that spent lots of money on athletes, a lot of money on boxers, amateur and professional, sponsoring them, I'll tell you that the relationship that I have is one of the key indicators whether or not I'm actually going to invest in someone or not. Not talent. Talent is not my indicator. A lot of people think so. A lot of people think, oh, you know what, if I'm winning or if I'm doing well, that's where the interest is going to come from. Nope. That is only a small part of it. But for a person like me, a business person like me, I don't care whether or not somebody's winning. There's other things that can be very helpful to me in terms of the personality and different things that that person can do that would help me as a businessman in terms of sponsoring a particular athlete. And these are the things that is lost on a lot of people. A lot of people think that it's just about winning or it's just about championships. And it's not true, or else the people that have won the most would be the richest, and they're not. So, one of the aspects of that I can tell you from my own personal experience of how I have been successful in life, being a kid that grew up in foster care, didn't have any parents, anybody financially helping me out. I dropped out of high school in grade 10, but yet I'm earning six figures. I'm doing extremely well financially. Everything comes down to, number one, working hard, of course. You got to be persistent. You got to work hard, but it's also about developing relationships and looking to provide value to people, looking for the win-win situation. So let me get back to that person that people were trying to promote in terms of saying, hey, this is a person to sponsor. So one of the things I would say about sponsoring someone, that particular athlete, they were very good, they're very talented, but for me, there isn't an interest in sponsoring because I don't know what they're going to do. There's no predictability with them yet because I don't have any history with them. So if I did spend money and say they were going to be on TV or they're going to be shown somewhere, I don't have any history to know that when I do give them the money that they are going to be seen and then I'm going to see it, or it may be seen, but maybe they don't capture it on video, so I have no idea. These are all the small things that are going to go through my head. Somebody could say that they're going to be on ESPN, but to me it's like, okay, well, when are you going to be on ESPN? 2 a.m. or are you going to videotape it, send me a copy? Are you going to mention me in interviews as well? And when you don't have a relationship with someone, you don't know how they do things. There's a little bit of unpredictability there. You don't know how they're going to represent your brand. You don't know what they're going to say while they have your logo or brand there. So all those things are all unknown, and unknown equals liabilities to a lot of people that would be in a position to sponsor, or support you financially, unless they're your family. And if they're your family, again, it goes back to what I said, having relationships is important, and it goes back to relationships again, my thesis. So you need to develop relationships with the people that you think can actually assist you so that they can have an idea, number one, of who you are as a person, if your ideals are in line, if your goals are in line, are you a person that does what they say? And then once you build that trust, you'll be able to have a long-term relationship with that sponsor, and it'll be easier to attract even more money after that. Getting money, getting sponsorship, getting advertisement, it's as much of a skill as it is to learn to fight. And it's one of those things that you have to practice, and developing a relationship is not just going to happen overnight. And that's why many people, when they go to sell someone or sell door to door, or just have a meeting, one meeting or two meetings, that they fail so often, because usually it's not enough time for somebody to develop an understanding or an understanding of what they're investing in and what they're going to get back in return. When you build a relationship, or when you put yourself out there, you can build a relationship without actually hanging out with someone. So there's a kid, Michael Williams Jr., that I recently sponsored, and I did that because I had a relationship with Tyrone Bradshaw, who has a relationship with his family, and they tagged me on their social media, so I've watched him come up. I watch him go from amateur to pro. I like what he's doing. I can see his personality. I like his personality. I like his family dynamics, and it falls in line kind of with my values. So I decided, okay, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to do some sponsorship with them. Now, if they follow through on that, they can definitely approach me for more sponsorship in the future. That's how it works. That's how I find it's easy for me to attain sponsorship and get success. Myself and Troy Ross, we've been at Judith Nyman High School. We try and do the best we can to teach the kids boxing and life skills. And so they renew our contract each year. And so you're building a relationship with the school board, you're building a relationship with the school, and once they know what you have to offer and that you're going to follow through on what you say you're going to do, then it creates a stronger business relationship. And also too, if all of a sudden that person can't pay, or their economic situation changes, at least it's going to be positive, and they can refer you because you're a known commodity. They know that you're going to follow through on what it is that you say, and you're going to produce what you say you're going to produce. It's so important to develop these relationships, or put yourself out there, document what you're doing. It's never been easier now with social media. You can take photos, you can write down a little paragraph of what it is that you're doing. You can go and get interviewed by your local newspaper, whether it's paid or unpaid. If it's paid, that's what I always say about investing in yourself. You're investing in yourself if you pay for it. If you get it for free, great. Utilize those free options as well, and it's all going to just help you grow, especially if you want to utilize boxing as a career, or the fight game as a career, where you want to make your money from that day to day. These are the things that you're going to have to do. Before we end off this episode, the other thing that I just wanted to touch on really quickly was, we should try and support our own in our boxing community. And what I'm talking about is not just, going out and buying tickets for fights, but I'm talking about for the fighters and the people in the boxing community that are in need. If we can, it's, I think, an obligation of a community, if you can, to assist. So that being said, being very specific, Donnie Clark, he's out there, he's looking for some assistance financially. He set up a GoFundMe page, and it's to deal with his testing for cancer. It's a serious issue. If you can, donate. You don't have to donate a lot, or if you don't have a lot, you can mention it to somebody else in your gym that may not even know what's going on. And if they have the means to donate, you can collect, tuning from 5 friends, and donate $10 to the GoFundMe. There's always something that people can do if you have the will to do it. You never know, you might be in that situation one day. I know Donnie Clark has touched a lot of people and worked with a lot of people in the boxing community. I've known him for a number of years, back to the days when I was competing. And you know, if we can help, we should help. Shout out to all the people out there that are doing, you know, their own fundraising efforts. Mo Abedin, Mike Strange, all these people are doing great things for various charities and the things that they believe in. And I think that these are the people to support in the sport of boxing. You know, there's a lot of false advertisement that goes out there. So these are guys that are doing things for real, and you can see it because it's been documented, which I will say, document what you do. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. Remember, I can bring you more value if you ask me the questions. So if you have any questions related to boxing, send me a message through Twitter at DOKPOSIO, through email, okposio@hotmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to get every episode of the DO Boxing Show. When people say, don't do business with your friends, I say I only do business with my friends. Thanks for tuning into this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.
I was trying to get it how I live. I want them dead presidents. I want to pull up, head spin, get fly. I got 6 jobs, I don't get tired. I don't